Hello everybody and welcome to my review of the BZ-176, the new Chinese Tier 8 premium heavy tank, featuring the new rocket boosting mechanic. So first, let me start off with talking about the new mechanic, these rocket boosts. So the BZ-176 comes equipped with 4 of these boosts. Every time you activate this boost, you'll get 10 seconds of increased horsepower and a higher top speed. Now this does come at a cost. You do lose out on whole rotation speed, as well as not being able to actually reverse pretty much at all. Now I like using them in wide open areas where I want to get from point A to point B, cover to cover, as you saw just moments ago. It's very valuable at limiting the amount of time that you're out in the air. It's also very useful for those aggressive players, as it allows you to get into those more forward positions and really force the enemy to be in less ideal positions. Now remember, you don't have very many of these boosts. This tank in particular, the BZ-176, comes equipped with just 4 of them. So you really need to think about it strategically. When do you want to use them? Like I said, I like using them when I'm moving from cover to cover, so that way I'm not as exposed. Another good way I've heard people using this is for when they're about to ram somebody, because it does increase your speed from 30 to about 55, which for a tank this heavy and this well armored, that's pretty dang fast. But that's enough about the rocket boost. Let's talk about the BZ-176. So the BZ-176 features an incredibly well armored turret, and it is one of the only Chinese tanks that features 10 degrees of gun depression due to its oscillating turret. With this amazing gun depression, you're capable of taking this tank to positions that other Chinese heavy tanks could only dream of going. Combine this with the incredibly thick armor on the front of the turret, which is mostly 250 millimeters thick, but behind the gun going upwards of 320 millimeters thick, you're basically impenetrable. So while the front of the turret is incredibly well armored, the roof is unfortunately only 41 millimeters thick. This means that guns of 124 millimeters or higher in caliber will be able to triple overmatch the turret. That means itself will be able to overmatch the turret roof, your American TDs, your Russian TDs, some of your Russian heavies, etc. will be able to triple overmatch. So you really have to make sure to use that gun depression whenever you're facing a target. Also be aware that this oscillating turret is somewhat of a double-edged sword, because while it does allow you to get more gun depression, it does raise the turret roof directly over the gun, which means that if you're looking at a target, while it will not be able to hit that roof, any other targets near it may be able to hit it and triple overmatch. Now let's talk the gun. And let me tell you, this gun is a love-hate kind of thing. I love the high alpha that it had, but it does have fairly low armor penetration compared to other tier 8 books. Now I know in the PC version, this tank's HE show was very problematic with its incredibly high pen. Luckily, we do not have that here on console. We actually had it dropped dramatically, so it's not going to be as toxic as the PC version. And like with all high alpha guns, this tank has a really long reload. There was times where, due to me playing, the other heavies, I would assume that I was, almost reloaded, but it turns out I was only about 2/3 of the way there. It is an incredibly long reload. Combine that with the low pen and the below average gun dispersion, and you get a very problematic gun where it would be very hit or miss. You'll have games where you're hitting every shot and you're penning, you're triple overmatching, and then you have other games where, you know, you fired at a tank that was 20 feet in front of you and it went and hit the moon. Now, because of this gun's very low pen, it's relatable to a tier 7 heavy. I ran the ammo swapping equipment, the advanced reload, just so that way I can swap between firing my AP rounds and my HE rounds. So for you to effectively use this cannon, you need to know how to triple overmatch. Since this tank has a 160mm cannon, that means you're able to triple overmatch up to 53mm of armor. So that means that the turret of the T-110E5, the upper deck of the 705A, or the roof of the IS-4 are all viable weak spots. And if you somehow come across a tank that you just cannot pen, don't sleep on the HE rounds. They are still capable of doing some decent damage. I was getting about 250 per shot, but you're capable of getting upwards of like 400 if you get a really good hit in, or at least a really good non-penetrating hit in. But now let's talk about the speed of the tank. While the rockets were active, it felt very fast. It was able to chase down some tanks, but those aren't infinite. Once you ran out, you're a very sluggish tank, and with the current meta being, you know, fast tanks, you really felt that struggle. So what I'm trying to get at is, again, use these boosts strategically. Don't just blow through them as soon as you can, because you can. It only has a cooldown of like 2-3 seconds between boosts, so you can spam them before you even see the first enemy. And remember, like I said, when you have the boosts enabled or active, you're like a dragster. You're able to go pretty damn fast in a straight line, but you cannot turn, you cannot stop. So be careful when you're using them in like a city environment where you might have to suddenly take a right turn or a left turn. But if you're chasing down a target and you can chase them in a straight line, it's beautiful. So what I'm just trying to get at is the speed of the tank, the mobility of it is nothing to write home about, except for the rocket boosts, and those aren't something I would recommend you basing the tank's performance on, because it is not a infinite resource. You only have so many of them. So what were my final thoughts of this tank? Well, at the time of this video, I had about 12 matches in this tank. It's not the greatest number. I would have definitely have wanted to have more matches in it to give it a better summarization of it, but I wanted to get this out a little bit sooner so that way y'all can decide what y'all wanted to do, whether y'all wanted to get the tank or not. So do I think that this tank is worth the gold? Well, it comes with the Ultimate Season Pass, which is only 6,000 gold. But that is a bundle. It comes with the tank, it comes with the Season Pass, and it comes with 25 stage skips. So if we add that all up, the Season Pass is 2,000 gold. The stage skips come out to a total of 6,250. So that's already 8,250, and you've only spent 6,000 gold. So you're already saving 2,250 in gold. You're basically getting a free tank. Now I know, is it worth getting if you only play Cold War, or is it worth getting for World War II? Judging based off of the content that I put out and how it performs, I'm assuming that majority of y'all like Cold War more, but I do know that some of y'all watch my stuff for the World War II content. I do also have some people here that just watch just to watch. They just like the content. So is it worth it getting if you're a Cold War player? Well, let me put it this way. Wargaming just recently came out with new war chests. They updated them, they improved them, air quotes improved. Now I'm not gonna get all up in that subject, it's a subject for another video, but one of the changes that they did make was instead of getting the full gold return back on duplicate tanks, you would be getting 50% of the gold back. So if you got a duplicate tank that was worth 11,000 gold, instead of getting that 11,000 back, you'd be getting the 5,500 back instead. Now, like I said, you basically got this tank for free whenever you buy the Ultimate Season Pass, so you're already netting positive there. But let's say you didn't like the tank. I would still recommend keeping the tank, because if you were to sell it, you would only be getting silver, and if you were to get it in a war chest again, you'd be getting the tank and not duplicate gold. Now, how much gold would you be getting back if you were to get it in a war chest? Well, as of this video, Wargaming has the value set at 8,500 gold, so you would be getting back 4,250 gold. So that means that if you were to buy the Ultimate Season Pass, you're already saving 2,250 gold. And if you were to get this tank in a war chest, you'd be netting yourself an extra 4,250 gold. So that's, in my opinion, a hell of a deal. Now, because it's also a premium tank, you do have increased silver bonus and increased tank XP bonus. Now, I know some people, or at least I'm assuming the majority of people, don't use tank XP and convert it over to being free XP, but if you do, more power to you. I personally, I don't do that, but just because I think it's not the best bang for your buck in terms of your gold. But if that's what you do, you know, hey, this tank will definitely help you out on that. Also note that this tank is a tier 8 heavy, and if you're like me and you grind contracts, you would know that a good amount of the contracts that have been coming out nowadays, at least at some point in those stages, it requires only tier 8s and up to be able to grind towards it, and so this does fit in there. So if you need another heavy to help grind out those contracts, this does help. So just to summarize this video, it's an okay tank. It's not the greatest, it's not the worst. It does have that new mechanic, so it is worth definitely checking out. Maybe even like learning how the mechanic works, so whenever we get the line in the game, you'd at least have some kind of experience with this mechanic. And it's an okay tank for the price that you get it for. Remember, it comes with a bunch of other stuff with it, so you're basically getting the free tank. So definitely pick it up if you can. So that's about all I got for this video. Again, it is my first time using my actual voice, and I'm recording this the night before, so I have no script or anything like that. I do apologize if it's a little chaotic. I hope that next time, at least if this video comes out well, that I'll make another one similar and I'll be better prepared. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just let me know. Also, I have a Discord that I use to help y'all the best I can, because I know the comments are a little iffy. I know I sometimes take a while to respond to those, and it also allows me to do giveaways. Just for reference, recently I had given out a season pass, a couple tanks, premium days, and some of the new war chests, so it's definitely worth coming in. You also help me by giving me new ideas for videos and things like that. I ask for input on these things, so I would definitely recommend y'all join if you can. I'll be putting the link to the Discord channel in the description below, and if you want to watch the gameplay footage that's been playing in the background uninterrupted, at full volume, uncommentated, and all that other stuff, will be coming up here in a second. And I appreciate all y'all's time, and I'm just really thankful for y'all as a community, and I'll see y'all next time.